Hey guys, we are going to get started here in 1 minute. I forgot to turn on an overhead light, so give me a second to get that done. I've got to run downstairs. I'll be right back. There we go. That should make it a little bit easier to see what we're doing tonight. So we are opening all basketball tonight. No other sports. We have got a jersey, an autographed jersey, some 2011-2012 gold standard, a little 12-13 and 13-14 timeless treasures, and then a full case of Optic. Excuse me. So that's what's on tap for tonight. Before we get started, a little bit of information to go over. And apparently I'm going to have a coughing fit. Man, allergies. Fun time. Sorry. Okay, so what you see there, the first thing up is that my feedback is completely automated on eBay. So what that means to you is anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you're going to instantly get it in return. You don't have to wait for me to get caught up or any of that stuff. Second and most important thing, thank you. I appreciate everybody who bids with me, breaks with me. Many of you chat with me, and glad to have each and every one of you, and thank you. Sorry, guys, my asthma and my allergies are acting up now. So this is a list of our upcoming breaks. This is the stuff that is already listed on eBay, and I list new stuff almost every night. Usually runs for a length of 5 days because otherwise eBay charges you an extra little happy fee. So this is what's up for the next 5 days. Tomorrow night, we're going to do an autographed full-size football helmet, a third of the case of Leaf Metal Draft, an autographed baseball jersey, and the last of the Gypsy Queen. On Wednesday, some more autographed memorabilia, along with a half case of 2011 Prime Signatures football, another third case of Leaf Metal Draft, and a full case of Diamond Kings baseball. Thursday, we'll do the back half of some Crown Royal football from 2013 that we started last night. And then we're also going to do a full case of the Prism basketball blasters. I know, you hear blasters like it doesn't sound like it's a good thing, but that case will have roughly 60 silver prisms in it. So with this year's rookie class, that is a good thing. It's good value for our money anyway. On Friday, we'll open some more one-box stuff, another autographed helmet, and then we will start a case of Contenders Draft Picks football. That will be coming out on Friday night, so we'll break it that same night. That particular break, the spots are sold by the first letter of the last name. So Baker Mayfield would be M, Josh Allen A, so on and so forth. Saturday, some more odds and ends, and then another half case of Contenders Draft Picks football. For tonight, we have 3 things with free shipping. That's the autographed basketball jersey, the 11-12 gold standard, the 12-13, 13-14 timeless treasures breaks all have free shipping. So that means that stuff's going to go out approximately Saturday. It usually goes 6 or 7 days, after a break ends when it has free shipping. Sometimes it'll go earlier if you have something coming in the meantime. It might hitch a ride. And tonight's paid shipping break, which is the full case of Optic, I'm anticipating to go out on Thursday. As always, it's plus or minus a day, so if I can get it to you earlier than that, I will. Occasionally something weird might happen and it might go a day later, but that's my best estimate. Finally, if your team is not pulled in a break, which could happen in one of the first 3 breaks for sure, you are still entitled to a consolation card for your team. That would typically be sent with your next hit. It can be sent sooner upon request. You just shoot me a message over at eBay and let me know, and I'll take care of it. So first up tonight, our 2017-18 Hit Parade autographed basketball jersey. This is break number 2. And it ended tonight, the 16th of April, as did everything we're going to open tonight. And we are live streaming it tonight as well. Of course, you see team names are on one side, winning bidders across from it on the opposite side. One of those spreadsheets will go up before the start of every break. So if you're not in this particular break, you're still going to get a chance to see your name up there when we get to your break. Finally, I do know that the background went out of focus there. Please don't worry. We're going to be able to see all of our cards and everything just fine. And one final little bit of info. There is someone who has a lot of teams that were still unpaid in the Optic break when I started. So I will check that again before the break starts. And if the payment has not come in for that, we will probably be reselling those teams because it's quite a sum of money. So be on the lookout for that. And if you happen to be the person who hasn't paid for it, please pay for it so you can keep your teams and we can keep on rolling. Hi, Bryce. Yeah, we are all basketball tonight. And we're starting off with a little jersey here for McHale. And you can see there that it has a JSA authentication sticker down there at the bottom and a matching JSA authentication card. And I'm assuming this is a custom jersey, but we'll just see if it's got anything else. Oh, well, I guess maybe not. It does at least say Celtics on it, so not entirely custom, because sometimes the custom ones don't even have the team name on them. So nice little Kevin McHale jersey is our hit for the Hit Parade basketball jersey tonight. And this will be folded up somewhere in your jersey. So when you get it, if you have the Celtics and this is your jersey, when it arrives at your house, make sure that you find that little card before you toss everything out, right? We don't want it to be like gone with the wind or anything. Next up, we're going to be opening some 11-12 Gold Standard. Once again, if you are in this break for Gold Standard basketball, please take a moment to look at the information there on the screen. It gives you your anticipated shipping date as well as some information about what happens if your team is not pulled in the break. And this is our first break of 2011-12 Gold Standard basketball. And really, like I didn't even mean to have it. I ordered 12-13 and they sent me a bunch of 11-12 and I just decided to keep it. So we'll be breaking some more of that. You'll see a couple of teams in there are noted as no bids buyback. Those are just unsold teams. No one gave them a forever home. So if anything comes out for one of them, it'll hang out here with me. Otherwise, if it comes out for one of you guys, we'll get it on the way to you roughly Saturday. So yeah, this is, it was kind of unexpected to have 11-12 Gold Standard, but you know, hey, I'm not going to argue. I have kind of a philosophy. I like to play the horses some, and when I bet, sometimes the teller, you know, will give you the wrong ticket with the wrong horses on it. They will have heard you wrong or keyed it in wrong or whatever the case may be. And of course, you know, they can always cancel it for you if you tell them before the race goes off. But usually if they make a mistake, I don't say anything. I just keep it and then I go back and bet the right thing because I think it's bad luck to cancel a ticket, right? I kind of thought it would be bad luck to send this back. So so that's why we're keeping all the 11-12 Gold Standard and hopefully we'll find some nice stuff in it. Starting out, we have Rudy Gay to 299 for the Memphis Grizzlies. Next up, a very young-looking Al Horford to 299 for the Atlanta Hawks. And here's Luol for the Bulls. That is also to 299. I know this is the bad part. There's lots of base cards in here. And then we have Jason Richardson to 299 for the Magic. We're about to get to the hits, though. Evan Turner to 299 for the 76ers. And this is a draft pick autograph redemption. Okay, so boy, oh boy, this is Golden Futures Autographs draft pick XRCB. So like, who in the heck is that? Who did that player become? I don't know. We'll try and look it up in a minute. If we can find it, then we'll award it accordingly. If we don't find it, we'll send that out by way of random. So next up we have, who is this? Gail Goodrich. Numbered to 49 for the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers. Followed by Chris Kaman to 99 with the relic. That is for the Hornets. And then we have for the Jazz. Oh, that's nice. That's John Stockton. And it is numbered to 25. That's a really cool little hit for the Jazz, in my opinion. Of course, I like pulling some of the veterans and stuff, so I think John Stockton's pretty awesome. Hey, and there's John Wall, a little John Wall relic to 149 for the Wizards. So that brings us back to this mess of a thing. It is expired, but of course you do still want to redeem it into your account. But first we got to try to figure out who in the heck it's supposed to be, because that doesn't really tell me much of anything. So hold tight there for a minute, and I'm gonna see if I can figure this out, and we'll go from there. What is this called? 2011 golden, oh boy, 2011 draft pick auto. We'll just go with that. I did not really think about the fact that these would be in there, because as I said, I haven't opened this product before, XRCB, and didn't really mean to have it this time. We just got it by accident and I kept it. Okay, so here's a checklist. Let's see if this tells us what it is. What did I say? XRCB. All right, XRCB. Where are you, friend? That was, or is, or was, whatever you want to say, Shelvin Mack for the Washington Wizards. XRCB Shelvin Mack for the Wizards. So that is this little redemption right there. And once again, even though it is expired, you do want to put it in your Panini account. If they have it, they'll send it to you, usually within a couple months. I have seen some older redemptions, draft pick redemptions going out lately, so they might still have it. So the Wizards for that, the Wizards with the John Wall relic as well. Then we have the nice John Stockton autograph to 25 for the Jazz. And we have a relic to 99 for the Hornets. And then the Gail Goodrich to 49 for the Lakers. And then, of course, our base cards. So that is 2011-12 Gold Standard Basketball, which is going to bring us into a couple of Timeless Treasures breaks, 12-13 and 13-14. So let me get our spreadsheet up and running for that. And once again, if you are in this break for Timeless Treasures, please take a moment to review the information on the screen. It gives you an anticipated shipping date and talks about what happens if your team isn't pulled in the break. All that stuff right up here. Which there's more information about that in the listing description as well. And of course, we talked about it more at the start of the break. So this is 1/12/13 and 1/13/14 Timeless Treasure Basketball. This is break number 15. We broke this a lot last year, and then I hadn't broken it recently, so we're going to get back into it for a bit. And like our other items, it ended tonight, April 16th. We're live streaming it tonight, April 16th. Anything you see that says no bids buyback is just a team that didn't sell and would stay here with me. Any cards that come out for one of those. Otherwise, they're going to head out the door to you. So one thing to know, if you don't know this already, all of the 12-13 basketball products from Panini have a special promo pack of cards in them, like a little Kobe Bryant anthology thing. And you'll find it in every single thing you open for 2012-13 from Panini. So what I do with those is open them up. If there happens to be a hit in it, the hit would be given out using random.org amongst all the teams in the break. If there's no hit in it, it doesn't go anywhere. Now, because the base cards are like not even worth the postage to send them, there are zillions and zillions of them because they put them in every product for free all year long, F1213. And all the information about that, of course, is in the listing. It's down there in the bottom in that little special circumstances area where it talks about promo packs, which is, of course, what that was, and all kinds of other stuff. So if you haven't had an opportunity to review that info yet, take a look at it, and then you'll know how things are going to roll along. I will say that one time we found a Kobe auto, just once, but and it was out of a Timeless Treasures, actually, but it was numbered to 8 or something really low. It's been a long time ago that we found it, but they do exist out in the wild, believe it or not. And I am setting up something over here. Give me 1 second, because I just realized that I don't have the Panini website up on here, and we're going to need it in a minute, because I already saw a redemption peeking out of there. So we're going to have to go to their website in a minute. So we're going to look at the 12-13 first. Here is Tony Parker for the Spurs, followed by Tyson Chandler for the Knicks. And once again, guys, I mean, all of these edges and corners with minor chipping and wear on them. Nothing dramatic, probably, at least not that we've seen so far. But obviously you can see none of them are perfect coming out either. There is Anderson Varejao for the Cavaliers. Kevin Garnett for the Celtics. Our first hit out is for the Grizzlies, and that is Quincy Poindexter, and that is on card for the Memphis Grizzlies, numbered to 199. And our stupid redemption, which I will set aside and we'll flip over in a minute, John Henson for the Bucks comes out, and I'm trying to find a blank piece of paper over here, because these are hard to see with the, the clear insert. That helps you see the signature a little bit better on it anyway. So John Henson for the Bucks on the glass, rookie, numbered to 499. And once again, you can see on the back, kind of down both the sides, all the corners, there's little bits of chipping and imperfections on that. We'll flip the redemption at the end. This is out of 13-14. We have an insert for the Bulls. And then we have Joakim Noah to 299, also for the Bulls. The Nets with Deron Williams material. And maybe that's not numbered. I guess not. I don't see a number on it anyway. I don't know. Why did I not put John Henson in a sleeve? I think because I was worried about holding him up to the piece of paper. I didn't manage to get him in a sleeve. And now we have Reggie Bullock for the Clippers. That is a relic and signature, once again, with the little clear, piece of thing that it's signed on. Can be a little hard to see sometimes. So there's your Reggie Bullock. And the Bulls come out again with Luck Longley. That one is a sticker auto. That one is not on card. And our redemption, once again, this will be expired, but you do want to redeem it into your Panini account like you normally would. It is Darius Miller, and it is glass rookie autograph, so it'll look like the John Henson looked probably, or something similar to that. And boy, I can't remember who drafted Darius Miller. He played for the Pelicans for a while, but I don't remember if that's where he would have been that year. But we're about to find out, because we're going to roll over here. Nope, we're not going to go there. We're going to go here to the Panini website and see if we can't figure this out. 2012 that was out of, right? Yeah, I think so. It's a long drop-down menu, but it's super handy that they have it on here. All right, we need to go to Glass Rookie Autographs. and he's card number 167. Yeah, oh, yeah, so that is the Pelicans. It says New Orleans Hornets, but of course you guys know that the New Orleans Hornets are the current New Orleans Pelicans. So it goes to the Pelicans. It is numbered to 499. Yeah, there was that whole weird thing with the Hornets. You know, they were the Charlotte Hornets, then they were the New Orleans Hornets, and then they were the New Orleans Pelicans, and then the Charlotte Bobcats went back to being the Charlotte Hornets. It was quite a thing. So to recap, for the Pelicans to 499, the Darius Miller rookie autograph redemption. Luke Longley, I don't know which it is, for the Bulls. For the Clippers, we have Reggie Bullock. For the Nets, it is Deron Williams. For the Bucks, John Henson. I know that's not the Buck you were looking for. I know you wanted the Greek Freak. And finally, Quincy Poindexter for the Grizzlies. So that has Timeless Treasures all ready to go. Now, I need to check and see if all those teams that are pending got paid for or not in Optic. So hang tight for 1 second while I walk in here and check on that. Okay, so it looks like, in fact, that bidder did not bother to pay for any of their teams. So, yeah, okay. We have all from the same bidder: the Celtics, the Heat, the Warriors, the Rockets, and the Knicks, none of which are paid for. So, does anybody want any of those teams at basically the last bid price? So the Celtics would be 187, the Heat is 26, the Warriors 48, the Rockets 41.50, you may as well say 41, and the Knicks at 30. So if you want one of those teams, please jump into chat and let me know, because this bidder did not pay for any of them. So that's always fun. Always love when that happens, especially when it adds up to lots and lots of money. That makes it so much better. So Jimmy, you're interested in the Warriors. And what about anybody else? I mean, basically, if I can get rid of, I need to either get rid of all 5 of the teams or just let it ride and hope the guy pays for it, because I can't cancel part of the order. You know what I mean? So like if I get them all sold, I'll go in and cancel his order and that'll be that. If I don't get them sold, then I'll just have to let his order ride and hope he pays for it. And, you know, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. So right now we've only got somebody interested in the Warriors. So again, it's the Celtics at 187, the Heat at 26, the Rockets at 41, you may as well say, and the Knicks at 30. All those are basically rounded down. And yeah, it's, you know what, I hate when people do that kind of stuff. But they do it all the time. It's just usually you don't have one person with that big of a bill that they don't pay you, but goodness knows I haven't lost a significant sum of money all in one break in a while, so I guess I'm due. Last year I had a bunch of different breaks where I would lose $300, $400, $500 because I trusted people to pay for it later, and then they never paid for it. So And it looks like you guys are probably not too interested in the rest of these teams. So I guess we'll have to let it ride and hope I don't end up out $300+ tonight. Although I think I'm probably going to. All right, guys. So this break for Optic that is coming up, again, that is a paid shipping break. So the anticipated shipping date for that is Thursday. If I can get it out to you sooner than that, I absolutely will. And there's always the possibility something weird could happen. It could slide to Friday, but I expect it to be Thursday, if not sooner. You guys on this break don't have to worry about the consolation cards because every team in here will pull at least a card. And you guys were asking me, Doug, are you asking me what teams are open? The teams that are open right now, let me switch you guys back off of that view so you don't have to sit and look at that. The teams that are unpaid all by the same bidder. The Celtics at 187, the Heat at 26, Warriors at 48, Rockets at 41, and the Knicks at 30. And so far, someone was interested in the Warriors, but not the rest of them. So again, I've either got to sell them kind of all and then cancel this bidder's entire order because it's unpaid, or sell none of them and just hope he pays me later because I can't cancel part of the order, you know? So I've either got to cancel it all and sell all the teams or cancel none of it is where we are. Oh, Eric, you didn't hear, okay, the teams again, the Celtics at 187, the Heat at 26, the Warriors at 48, which Jimmy's already said he was interested in, the Rockets at 41, and the Knicks at 30. So I would have to still find someone here in the next couple of minutes that wants the Celtics, the Heat, the Rockets, and the Knicks. And if no takers on those four, then we'll just roll forward. So Eric would be interested in the Rockets, and Jimmy's interested in the Warriors, which then would leave us still with the Celtics, the Heat, and the Knicks. So does anybody want those three teams? If so, we'll move forward. If not, we won't. You know, I'll just let them ride. Because again, I can't, cancel someone's order partially. I've either got to cancel it all or not at all. But you know what I'm saying? No way to pick and choose, in other words. So let me, I need to make an adjustment here on the spreadsheet as well since this is unpaid. So give me a second to fix that. Because I don't really, I'm not going to expose the guy's user ID on the spreadsheet. Because I don't think that's the right thing to do. So I'm going to go in and take that out. And let me make sure I got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. So we've got all that. And okay, so it looks like nobody's interested in the remaining three teams. So we're just going to have to go on like it is, and I'll have to hope that bidder pays me. And if he doesn't, then I guess I'm out a cool $300+. Wouldn't be the first time. I'm sure it won't be the last time. So here we are with 12 boxes of 2017-18 Optic basketball. This is a full case break. It is break number 5. It ended tonight, the 16th of April. We're live streaming it tonight. Our team names are on the left, winning bidders across from it on the right. Of course, as you all know by now, there are 5 high dollar unpaid teams, all from one bidder. Those have his bidder ID has been stripped out, and that has just been replaced with the word unpaid. So hopefully he will pay me. Probably he won't, because that's how those things usually go. If people intend to pay it, they typically pay you before the break starts. Oh well. So here we go into some Optic. Well, again, Doug, I can't sell just part of them. I mean, I do realize that somebody's interested in 2 of the teams, but then that leaves me with 3 others, and I can't cancel just part of his order. I mean, that's not how eBay works, and that just wouldn't be the right thing to do. So if I were to cancel that order, I would have to cancel it for all 5 teams, and then all 5 teams would have to be sold. But you guys are only interested in 2 of the 5. So at that point, I'm just going to have to let it ride and hope that he pays for it. which it sounds like, you know, he may and he may not. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Doug, I can't sell just part of the team. So, yeah, I do know you guys are interested in the Warriors and the Rockets, but without the Celtics and the Heat and the Knicks also selling, it doesn't really help me very much. But, you know, I do appreciate the input on it. It's just eBay doesn't allow you to cancel part of an order. So it's kind of an all or nothing sort of thing. And I'm not one of these people who will sit there and hold a break for 20 or 30 or 40 minutes trying to sell the other teams, because I don't think that's fair to everybody else. And yes, so that is why I often end up screwed out of hundreds of dollars a month, sometimes thousands. I have had months where the unpaid bills have been into the thousands. Yes, you would be amazed at how often people bid and don't bother to pay. I'm already counting this guy. I'm at probably $500 this week alone in unpaid bids. Louis, I see your message. I don't know what your question is, but I see your message. Well, Eric, it's again, to let me go over this again, because for some reason it's not translating. Someone bid on those 5 teams. They did not pay for any of the 5 teams. So I offered them to you guys, but I had to sell all 5 teams. I couldn't sell just 2 that you're interested in and not the other 3, because I would have to cancel the entire order, which would leave me still with 3 unsold teams. So the 5 teams belonging to that bidder still belong to that bidder. So he may choose to pay for them after the fact. He may not. I don't know. If he doesn't ever pay for them, then I'm stuck with it, and that's that. If he does pay for them, then of course he will, you know, get his cards. But that's kind of the way that it is set up, because eBay will not let you just go in and say, okay, I'm going to cancel, you know, the Warriors and the Rockets, but leave him responsible for the other teams. They won't. It doesn't work like that. You either have to cancel the whole order or cancel none of the order. So that's what that is. Louis, what teams do you have in here tonight? You said you're new to the breaks. What teams do you have in here tonight? All right, guys, so we're going to find in here 1 autographed hit per box. We're going to find lots of numbered stuff and lots of prisms. This, of course, is the Seattle Supersonics. So once again, cards stay with their franchise. So anything we see for the Seattle Supersonics will actually go to the Oklahoma City Thunder, because that is the current name and location of the former Seattle Supersonics. That's what the franchise, you know, they moved and renamed themselves. Excuse me. And of course, all that information about how that works, once again, is in the bottom of the listing description, down in that part that says special circumstances. There's a little section that talks about renamed and relocated franchises. So that's how that works. But I think that everybody pretty much does it the same way. I think most breakers do it the same way. But anyway, it's in there if you ever want to read it. There is a rated rookie prism for the Lakers with Josh Hart. And Louis, now on this one tonight, of course, you know, all this sold on eBay earlier. And of course, normally, hopefully, most of the time, people have paid. And the ones that haven't paid, I don't really worry about, because they're not a ton of money and I let them ride. The only reason I offered some of those teams up tonight is because it adds up to a lot of money. That's for the Nets with DeMar Carroll. But of course, there's all kinds of other stuff on eBay listed at any given time. I've got tons of auctions up there. But for this one tonight, yeah, it all ended a little bit ago, a few hours ago on eBay. To 39, a little Embiid for the 76ers with the Velocity insert. We'll probably find a few pink ones of those too, which are numbered a little differently. Gordon Hayward to 199 for the Celtics. There was the Greek Freak, speaking of. Then a retro Reggie Miller to 175 for the Pacers. Well, the card's not retro. I mean, the series is retro. You know what I mean. That's what they call that insert in Optic. Tyler Dorsey Prism for the Hawks. That is to 175. A redemption. So we're going to set it aside. Save it till the end. Paul George Prism for the Thunder. Paul George was trying to run away from me there, but fortunately, I caught him. I hung on to him. Kawhi Leonard to 199 for the Spurs. Isn't that a weird situation with Kawhi and the Spurs? I mean, kind of his whole team and his coach. I mean, they're basically, some of them have outright said, and others have implied, that he should have been back long before now, and he's holding out, and the whole thing's kind of weird. And then he hasn't been sitting on the bench. I mean, he's during the games, even playoff games. It's been weird. Russell Westbrook for the Thunder, all clear for takeoff Prism insert. So, yeah, I don't know. It kind of makes you think that Kawhi is going to end up as a free agent at the end of the season, doesn't it? Rookies insert for the Sixers, Markelle Fultz. That was not a Prism, but we don't find a tremendous number of those inserts that say they're rookies. James Johnson to 99 for the Heat. And what was the other thing I was going to tell you about Optic? There was something else I was going to tell you. Oh, I know what it was. That if we find it as a rated rookie in here, it'll be an on-card autograph. If we find a veteran, Hall of Famer, active player, any of that stuff, those are typically stickers in this series. My experience up to this point has been that we'll probably end up about half and half, with about half rated rookies and about half as veterans or active players and that kind of stuff. Oh, cool, Louie. Yeah, you can jump into eBay at any point, and if you do I think if you click on search at the top of the eBay page, then it gives you an option for advanced search, and then you can search by seller and put in my eBay user ID, which is Fleaburger. I know that's weird, but that's what it is. And then it will show you everything I have listed currently, and it'll also let you sort it, to see what was listed most recently, what's ending soonest. You can sort it by sport and all that kind of stuff. And Marcus, you are looking for the Reggie Miller autograph. I know Reggie's been in a lot of the Panini stuff this year because, of course, they were all excited that they got him signed to a deal again. He hadn't been in the Panini stuff for a while. I haven't pulled any of his yet, but I know he's in a lot of the products. I think he's supposed to be in National Treasures a bunch as well, which everybody by now knows they moved the release date for NT. Otherwise, we would be opening that already, or getting ready to. But they pushed the date back for National Treasures. They pushed the date back for Encased and a bunch of our basketball stuff. They've been moving the dates around on us. All-Star Prism Draymond Green and the Warriors. Frank Mason III for the Kings. There's our first autograph. We've got the redemption up there, so we don't know what that one is yet. But our first one that we have in our hot little hands is for the Sacramento Kings, and it is Frank Mason III. Then a Draymond Green Golden State Warriors Prism. And there's just a Jordan Bell base, but I saw the little prism shining behind it. It is Tony Bradley for the Jazz, numbered to 175. Yeah, Louie, you can, Puerto Rico's No problem. You can definitely bid on eBay without any issues, and it's just the same shipping as shipping here in the contiguous 50 U.S. states. Doesn't cost any additional, and should be no problem at all for you to be able to use eBay to bid. Markieff Morris to 79 for the Wizards. And you know, one thing I forgot to say earlier, because I was all tied up in trying to figure out if we were going to be able to move those teams or not, to 175 Reggie Miller and the Pacers, is that if you are watching live and you cannot see chat and you want to be able to see it or participate in it, you have to log into YouTube. That's step number 1. Thaddeus Young to 175 for the Pacers. And step number 2 is if you are watching on a tablet or a phone or another mobile device, you have to also click on that link that says you want to view the desktop version, and then that would allow you to see and participate in chat. Bill Russell for the Celtics Prism, which I sometimes call refractors, but that is an interchangeable term. They are both the same thing. Frank Jackson to 199 for NOLA. It's basically anytime you see that pretty little rainbow of colors there when the light hits it, you know you have, technically they are refractors, but Panini calls them prisms, but they technically refract the light. TJ Warren for the Suns. It's kind of special little coating on them. Giannis for the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak. And little Eric Bledsoe for the Bucks as well, Prism. And that is box number 2. And the other thing that I should probably point out, if you don't know this already, many of you probably do, a few of you may not. Anytime you have these type of cards with coating on them, which, you know, are the Prism, the Optic, if we were breaking tops, it would be Chrome. Anytime they have that kind of coating on them, when they come out of the pack, which is, you know, keeps them compressed, they have a tendency to kind of curve up slightly, so they kind of have they bow up a little in the middle. So when you get them, if you set them down on, I mean, you can see it even a little bit right there, but when you set them down, they don't really lay flat, and that's why. That whatever that coating is makes them curve a little bit. Now, of course, the ones that come to you in a top loader will be flat because the top loader will keep them compressed. And actually, when you take them out of the package, they probably will be, because I'll have them in a team bag, and that'll keep them somewhat compressed. But then when you take them out of that, yeah, you're going to have the same thing I have going on here. They kind of curve up a little bit. So I usually try to remember to tell people that, just so you're not surprised by it when it happens. It's not nearly as pronounced as it once was. I mean, back when they were first doing Prism in particular, like the first couple of years of Prism, it seems like some of those were really curve a lot. And then as time has gone on, certainly it has gotten, you know, a lot better. So we don't have so much of that stuff happening as we did once upon a time. Another Markelle Fultz, the rookie insert. Delon Wright and the Raptors in a Prism. And a Bobby Portis Prism for the Bulls. Denzel Valentine is going to be numbered to 199 for the Bulls. I always see the orange with Panini, and I correlate it to orange with Topps, which of course it's not, but with Topps, when you pull an orange one, it's usually numbered much lower than that. So every time I see the orange, I keep that first flash through my head as it's going to be a really low number. For the Thunders, that was an All-Stars Prism insert for, I think it was Russell Westbrook, right? Retro Gary Payton, once again, Supersonics going to the Oklahoma City Thunder because cards always stay with their franchise, even when the franchise moves and renames itself, as happens from time to time. The champ is here to 175 for the Lakers, Kobe Bryant. Followed by a Jonathan Simmons to 175 for the Magic. DeMar DeRozan Prism for the Raptors. And looks like our hit is going to be a Wesley Iwundu for the Magic to 49. Nice little on-card rated rookie low number hit for the Magic. And then we have a Prism for the Big Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, T-Wolves. They shut him down, man, in Game 1. He had 8 points. I mean, that's just bad for Karl. Sterling Brown for the Bucks, numbered to 99. You know, one thing I was just thinking about, I was talking a minute ago about franchises relocating, renaming, and all that, and how the cards stay with their franchise, etc. There's only one exception to that, and it does happen to be in basketball, so it's probably worth mentioning. And that is, we talked about it a little bit earlier, and not this break, I think the break before. And it involves the Hornets and the Pelicans. And it's kind of weird, but here's the deal. The original Charlotte Hornets moved to New Orleans and became the New Orleans Hornets, and ultimately they are the current New Orleans Pelicans. When the first Charlotte Hornets were down in New Orleans as the New Orleans Hornets, there was an entirely new franchise group, came in and started an expansion team called the Charlotte Bobcats. So they were the Bobcats until somewhere along the way, the guy who owns the New Orleans team decided, you know what, I'm going to rename us the Pelicans. And when he changed the name of the Pelicans, he returned to the new Charlotte expansion one, which is a whole new group of owners, whole new franchise, that were, at that time, they were the Charlotte Bobcats. So when the New Orleans Hornets changed their name to the New Orleans Pelicans, at that time, they also returned all of the franchise history and records to Charlotte. So in other words, he just said, hey, Bobcats, you're going to keep all the history. We're going to send it to your franchise, and you can go back to calling yourself the Hornets. And we're going to call ourselves the Pelicans, and there you have it. So that's the only exception to the card staying with the franchise rule. And that is only because they literally returned all the records and the history and everything back to the city of Charlotte. So anything that says Charlotte Bobcats or Charlotte Hornets always will stay with Charlotte. And anything that says New Orleans Hornets or New Orleans Pelicans will always stay with New Orleans. Ben McLemore to 175 for the Memphis Grizzlies. But some of that franchise stuff can get kind of weird. That's one of the more complex ones. There is the Greek Freak again, Wishful Thinking insert, Prism. And our hit's coming out early out of this box. It's for the Bulls Signature Series Ryan, oh boy, Arcidiacono. I don't know. I cannot say his name, and I cannot say that I am really familiar with him, but if you are a Bulls fan, I'm guessing you probably are, and that is a sticker auto. And then we have a Josh Hart prism coming out behind it for the Lakers. A Vince Carter prism for the Kings. But yeah, what should be interesting is what happens in Seattle, because Seattle's been trying to get a new franchise up there forever. Blake Griffin prism for the Clippers. I mean, they want to resurrect the Supersonics. And this is Mike Conley for the Grizzlies, a prism. But of course, if they want to resurrect the Supersonics and use the same name, then the Thunder would have to do the same thing that the New Orleans Pelicans did and send all the rights and history and everything back up to Seattle. And I don't know if they would do that or not. Oh, Marcus, you said you got into a big debate with somebody. You had the Hornets, and you pulled an autograph that he said went to the Pelicans. This is to 39. It is a Harrison Barnes. Why in the world did I just go blank on that? I just said the name of this a minute ago, what that pattern is called, and then I just totally went blank on it. Velocity. Good grief. Velocity. My mind went blank. All clear for takeoff, DeMar DeRozan for the Raptors. Yeah, I mean, I guess each individual breaker maybe does it differently, and maybe it just depends on how well versed they are in the franchise history. I mean, if you didn't, on the face of it, sure, it did, it technically would, that team did become the New Orleans Hornets and the New Orleans Pelicans, and they stayed that way, and the Charlotte Bobcats is actually a completely different franchise team. Completely different group and everything. Davin Reed to 199 for the Suns. But once the Pelicans agreed to return the history and the name and everything to Charlotte, at that point, it more or less becomes the same franchise, even though it wasn't. It is, because the original franchise returned all the records and everything to them. That's the Bulls on that insert. So I guess it depends on the breaker. If they know that part, then I would think they should just say Charlotte stays with Charlotte and New Orleans stays with New Orleans. If they don't know that part, they would probably try to do what you're talking about. Kristaps Porzingis, that is a pink velocity for the Knicks. But as far as my stuff goes, I specifically, again, down there in the listing description, when I get into that special circumstances area, I specifically state that about the Hornets and the Pelicans. So anybody who is bidding with me, you know up front how I'm going to do it. I don't know how every other breaker does it, but I have all that stuff right there in the listing. Yeah, I mean, that is a weird situation. I mean, it is, again, Marcus, I would have said the card would stay with Charlotte, but I have had people have the opposite reaction as well. I've had somebody who disagreed with me. He had the Pelicans, of course, and he wanted the thing to stay with his team, the Pelicans, and he got quite angry about it. So anybody, it means human nature. You want to get what you think you're entitled to. And I guess different people view it different ways. But to me, once the records and the name have been returned to the expansion franchise, it becomes the original franchise in effect. But again, that's why I spell that out specifically in my description, so that I don't have all that kind of stuff going on. I like to provide, I know my listings are long, and I know they have a lot of information in them, but there's a reason all that information is in there. It's to cover all those kinds of scenarios so that people know when they bid, okay, here's how this break works. Here's, if I bid Charlotte in this break, I'm going to get Bobcats and Hornets. Of course, I know not everyone reads that information, but course, you can't make somebody read it. All you can do is provide it, but that's really the only situation I can think of in any sport that is like that, other than maybe, I guess if you look at the Senators in baseball, because there are like 3 different Senators franchises, and they're tied to 2 different current franchises. One's tied to the Twins, and the other one's tied to, the Rangers, maybe? I don't know. I'd have to look up the dates on them. That is Murray for the Spurs. Followed by Avery Bradley for the Pistons. Both of those are just base prisms, no numbering on them. An all clear for takeoff DeMar DeRozan prism for the Raptors. Oh, yeah, see that Bryce jumped in there and said Rangers. See, that's what I thought. It just took me a minute. I got it out there, man. I just always have to think about the Senators for a minute, because you have to really break down what year goes to which team. That's to 199, Derrick Rose and the Cavs. Because that was a hot mess. They let the Senators come in there like 3 different times and then split out into all those different franchises. The Celtics have Semi Ojeleye, rated rookie on-card auto. And Julius Randle prism for the Lakers. But other than that, I think those are the only examples. You know, the Charlotte-New Orleans thing in basketball, and then the multi-splits of the Senators in baseball are the only ones I can think of that are like that. Markelle Fultz, rookies insert. Darren Collinson to 49 for the Pacers. So, I'm trying to think, I don't know even when the next basketball comes out. And it might be one of the new ones. They've moved the dates so many times on everything. Josh Jackson to 175 for the Suns. So Dominion might be the next one that comes out, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Dwayne Bacon prism for the Hornets. But Dominion is pretty close in price to Spectra. I guess is probably the closest price-wise. That's for the Thunder, Russell Westbrook, Wishful Thinking prism. And then the other one, whose name I can never remember, which tells you then that they probably didn't name it very well if you can never remember what it's called. This is the Champ is Here to 49, Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. I think it might be called Essentials, if that might be right. And it's priced pretty close to the way Select is priced. Of course, I don't know what the cards are going to look like or any of that. I haven't gotten that far yet. But price-wise, it's, you know, 125 or so a box, somewhere in that neighborhood. Whereas the Dominion is going to be like $250, $275 a box, more along the Spectra lines. No, the Brewers and the Braves, you're asking, are the Brewers and the Braves have a franchise issue? They don't. That's very clear cut, that the Milwaukee Braves are the current Atlanta Braves, and the Milwaukee Brewers are a completely separate franchise. I mean, that's like, you know, if you took the Houston Texans and the Houston Oilers. You know, the Houston Oilers went to Tennessee, became the Tennessee Oilers, became the Tennessee Titans, whereas the Houston Texans are a completely new franchise. They were an expansion franchise after the first team left. So no, Milwaukee Braves, former Milwaukee Braves, are the current Atlanta Braves. The Milwaukee Brewers, a completely separate franchise. Yeah, I mean, the cards always are going to stay with the franchise price. So, yeah, I mean, there's never any question about that it stays with whatever franchise it is. Like the New York Giants in baseball, not in football. The New York Giants in baseball are the current San Francisco Giants. So if you were to pull, say, for instance, out of Diamond Kings this year, they have lots of cards in there for the New York Giants. Well, they will go to the current San Francisco Giants because that's how the franchise history traces. They wouldn't go to the Mets because that's a different franchise, nor the Yankees for the same reason. There is some weirdness with Jim Thorpe in football too, and it's a really weird situation, but you hardly ever are going to come across it. But that has to do with the Canton Bulldogs. This is Etwan Moore Prism for NOLA. And the Canton Bulldogs, or Canton, yeah, I guess whoever they were, Canton, whatever they were, became the Cleveland Bulldogs, which then, this is to 49, the Lakers and Thomas Bryant, which were then bought by somebody else who ended that franchise, like bought it for the purpose of ending the franchise. This is the Minnesota Timberwolves, Chauncey Billups. But then all of the people that had been on the Cleveland Bulldogs team, like almost all the same players and coaches and everything, they started a whole other team called the Minnesota something or another, like, I think it was Minnesota something or another. This is to 99, all clear for takeoff, Aaron Gordon. And even though that is a technically a separate franchise, it was maybe the Detroit Timberwolves or something. I don't remember the exact name of it. I'd have to look it up. All clear for takeoff, Prism for the Pistons. But so all the same players, most of the same players, formed this other team after the Cleveland Bulldogs were bought out and the guy just shelved the whole franchise. Frank Ntilikina to 199 for the Knicks. Then the new franchise that all those guys started ultimately was purchased by the guy who owned the New York Giants football team. So a lot of people then consider that to be the Giants, even though they're two separate franchises, because most of the record keeping and most of the history books will call that second team that they formed after the Cleveland Bulldogs were ended. They kind of combine their records. That's to 199, J.J. Barea for the Timberwolves. So since all of the record books and the history books and all that consider that the same franchise, even though really it's not, it would go to the Giants because of the history of it. Taurean Prince for the Hawks. And Louis is asking me, what? If you bid on a team for $2, if I win a bid on a team for $2, I get all the cards for $2, or you pay more. Okay, so I think what you're asking me, tell me if I'm wrong, Louis, if this is not your question. Oh, this might be, hang on, Louis. This might be what you're looking for. Yeah, it is. Boom, there's your Reggie Miller to 49. We conjured that bad boy up, didn't we? Because I just said I haven't pulled any Reggie Millers yet. You said you were looking for Reggie Miller, and there he is on a Dominator insert to 49 for the Pacers. Yeah, we delivered one somebody wanted tonight. De'Aaron Fox Prism for the Kings. Here's an Ivan Rabb rated rookie Prism for the Grizzlies. Okay, so let me get back to your question here, Louis. So basically, I mean, the opening bid price is, of course, where it starts, right? And if no one bids against you, then yes, you would get it for the opening bid price. If someone bids against you and outbids you, then of course they would end up winning it and not you. That is to 99, John Collins and the Hawks. And of course, some of the breaks have free shipping. Another rookies with Markelle Fultz. They've everyone been Markelle Fultz tonight. So weird. And some breaks have charge shipping. So of course, if you're in a break that has a shipping charge, you would be responsible for that as well. The other part of your question, I think you're asking me if you would get all of the cards. So if what you're asking me is, do all the cards ship? The answer is yes, most of the time. And if ever there is a situation where not all the cards ship, like let's say, veteran base didn't ship or something like that, it would say it in the listing right about the area where it tells you the night of the break, the date and time of the break, and it will describe the product. It would say it right in there. So if it doesn't say it right in there, then all the cards ship. And let's say that you won, for instance, I don't know, the Dallas Cowboys in a break. You would get all of the Dallas Cowboys cards that had just the Dallas Cowboys on them. Now, what I mean by that is, let's say we pull out a card that had the Dallas Cowboys on it, and it also had the Kansas City Chiefs on it. Well, at that point, if you only owned the Cowboys and you didn't own both teams, then we would have to use random.org to determine which team got the card, the Cowboys or the Chiefs. And again, all that sort of stuff is down at the bottom of the listing in the special circumstances area. So basically the answer to your question is it would be all the cards for the team that have only that team on them. If you have a card that has multiple teams on it, then it is subject to the different rules that might require the use of random.org to award the card. And Eric says he is a Minnesota Timberwolves fan. And as a fan of all my state's teams, you claim the Minneapolis Lakers championships. I love it. I'm all about it, man. Might as well. Louis, I don't have another break for optics scheduled right now. The next basketball case break that I have is the one for the Prism, for the Blasters, that comes up, I don't know, in a couple of days, 2-3 days from now. Phoenix Suns, Josh Jackson, the rookies, finally one that isn't Markelle Fultz. And in the Blasters, of course, it's a different kind of scenario. It doesn't guarantee us any kind of autographs. The champ is here, Shaquille O'Neal for the Lakers. Although there could be one in there, it doesn't guarantee us any. Most likely, we'll pull a relic out of each box. That's to 175, George Hill for the Kings. But the reason that we're opening that case of Blasters, it doesn't have to do with the relic. It has to do with the silver prisms in there, because those can be worth a lot of money. And that Blaster case will have roughly 60 silver prisms in it, to 49 Wayne Selden and the Grizzlies. So that's one you would want to bid on if you're interested in the silver prisms, because that's really the main reason that we're opening that one, because that's a lot of prisms for a very reasonable buy-in in comparison to what hobby prism costs. And frankly, the silver prisms often are worth more than, depending on the player, of course, but some of the silver prisms are worth more than the autograph hits we'd pull anyway. Sterling Brown for the Milwaukee Bucks. There's a Trevor Ariza for the Rockets prism. John Collins for the Hawks prism. BPG, do you have the Bucks tonight? Who do you have tonight, man? Embiid to 199, 76ers. We pulled that earlier, didn't we? An orange Embiid? I think we did. Of course, we'll recap all of that at the end of the break. All of our numbered stuff and our autograph hits. we have a little numbered LeBron James for the Cavaliers to 99 All-Stars insert. Marcus, I have busted, what, is this the third or the fourth case of those Prism Blasters I've done? I did a bunch right when they came out, and then, I don't know, I got busy doing other stuff, and I left the rest of them set. So now I'm like, well, they pushed back the date on other basketball. We got to start cycling through some of that. Al-Farouq Amino Prism for the Trailblazers. So I've done 2 or 3 other cases of it, something like that. Isaiah Thomas for the Celtics. Oh boy. I cannot remember the answer to that question, Marcus, because it has been a bit since I busted them. However, if you go back through, well, autographs, again, I can't answer that. Derrick Rose, Cavaliers. We're not likely to find very many autographs in there, and that's not even the main reason that I'm opening it. In fact, we may not find any autographs in the case. It's not really particularly for autographs. I mean, technically, yeah, you get a hit per box, but most of them are going to be relics, if not all of them. But the silver prisms are the thing. 60 of those in a case is pretty good ratio. It's actually a really good ratio, especially if you pull the right players. Some of those silver prisms go for crazy money. Now, as far as the ones numbered to 25 and stuff like that, I don't remember. There is something in there. Why I cannot think of it at the moment right now. There's something in there that usually falls once a case that is a good something, but I'm blanking on what it is. It's a particular pattern, and I'm blanking on it. However, I'll tell you this. If you go back on my YouTube channel, if you click on the tab that says videos and go back to roughly the time that Prism came out, and maybe go like 2 weeks beyond when Hobby Prism came out, you'll probably start finding some of the blaster breaks in there. And if I could remember the exact date, I'd tell you what it was, but I don't remember the exact date. But it will tell you in the description if you're on the video tab. And if you click on, you know, obviously you would only want to click on one that had basketball in the title. It'll tell you in the description what is going to be in that break. And so if it doesn't say Prism Blasters or whatever, then you know you don't even have to fool with that video. Just look for the next one that says basketball in the title, if that makes sense. And, oh, BPG, you have the Bucks and the Magic, and you are asking me, are you asking me about, oh man, some kind of card from way back? The one about Shaq from like way back? Or what are you asking me about? Like the one from a long time ago, the champ is here? Gosh, that's, or the one from maybe just a box or two back. Hang on, let me see if I can find the one you're asking me about. I keep most of those inserts stacked off separately, so I'm flipping through. Hang on. Because, of course, they're not all in one stack, so it may take me a second to locate exactly the one you were asking about. Oh, this is probably it. Right there. Is that what you wanted to see again? The champ is here. Shaquille O'Neal, Lakers. It's not numbered. It is a prism, but it's not numbered. If that was your question. Was that your question? So hopefully that was the one you wanted. If it wasn't, let me know, and I will sort through some other stacks. But that's the one that I saw closest to me, so I think that's probably the one. Now you're saying there's another one that was a prism or not a prism? Because if it wasn't a prism, good grief, that could be like just about anywhere. There's a Dwayne. There's a Dwayne Wade for the Heat, but I don't know that there's, I don't remember seeing another Shaq. And definitely, if it wasn't a prism, because that's where all the prisms are stacked differently. That's for the Spurs. Yeah, that's the most recent stuff, and that's Dwayne Wade. So I don't know what other one you were talking about. Damian Dotson to 79 for the Knicks and the Velocity. I don't keep anything but the prisms separated out as we go along. There's another Embiid prism for the 76ers. The base ones I just kind of stacked together over there. There's a Murray to 99 for the Spurs. Oh, that still wasn't it then? I don't know. I don't know what other champ is here we saw recently then, if it wasn't the Dwayne Wade either. I don't know what other one it was. I'm sorry, man. I didn't pay that much attention to it, I guess. Kawhi Leonard All-Stars Spurs. Jimmy Butler for the T-Wolves. You hear my little kitty down there playing with his toy, don't you? It's very loud. I'm sure you can hear it. He gets very excited sometimes playing with his little ball. It rolls around in a track down there, and he gets quite ramped up sometimes. 175 Steph Curry champ is here for the Warriors. I'm trying to think, like, I don't even know the range of the last time I opened one of those Prism Blaster cases. Isn't that awful? This is to 175 Chris Middleton and the Bucks. I just opened so much stuff. I don't do a good job retaining the dates that I opened it. Signature Series Royce O'Neal for the Jazz. And again, I don't really know Royce O'Neal, but I'm assuming if you are a fan of the Jazz that you know who he is. Trevor Booker, 76ers Prism. Luke Kennard, Detroit Pistons to 199. I can tell you this, BPG, somewhere on the Panini website. Well, I mean, they have the whole checklist on there, but I'm saying if you click on whatever the link is that says view the full checklist, I think it'll break out even the base cards for you. Clyde Drexler for the Blazers. If you are just curious, like how many cards Shaquille O'Neal is on and which teams they are for, I think you can do it by that. If you go into the Panini checklist and just pull up 1718 Prism, and then instead of clicking on the card set, click on the thing that says view the full checklist. And it should sort it all out, base cards and everything. And then you'll be able to see where all of the potential Shaquille O'Neals could fall and to what team. It should tell you both. If that helps any. And of course, there's all kinds of websites that break down the hits, but they don't probably break down the base cards necessarily. But they will break down the hits for you. But they have, I mean, there's definitely products where you can find the same player in two different uniforms for two different teams. I mean, it happens with baseball quite a lot. Maybe not as much in basketball, but certainly in like a series like that or a retro kind of insert. it's conceivable that he could be in there for more than one team. And here is Justin Patton Prism for the T-Wolves. I've also got some basketball to put together and do some mixers, and I just can't seem to find time to get it together. Steph Curry Prism for the Warriors. And a retro Glenn Rice for the Heat to 49. So I've got a bunch of other stuff from 12-13, 13-14, 16-17, current year. Dirk Nowitzki to 49 for the Mavericks. But all of it's stuff that I would want to put together to make just a mixed product break, mixed year, mixed product break. So sometime in the next week or two, or really probably 3, I will find time to get that done. So our streak of one-of-ones continues. This is, what, the 3rd or 4th night in a row where we have pulled a one-of-one. Tonight, it's going to be Zach Collins and the Portland Trail Blazers with a sweet little one-of-one hit. And if you should want that or anything else that you pull with me in a magnetic one-touch case, if you're watching live, you can jump in chat and tell me. If you are not, you can send me a message on eBay. Tell me after the fact. This is Al Horford to 199 for the Celtics. And basically it works like this. It is my cost for the case and the PayPal fees and, you know, a couple extra, like 20 cents or so to cover the extra weight for postage. And it ends up being right about $3 a case. A Signature Series Bobby Jones for the 76ers. The only time it's more than that is if it were a booklet case or one of the super, super thick cases. But otherwise, I can encase it for you. It cost you $3. And I would send it as a PayPal money request to whatever email address you have on file with eBay. All clear for takeoff, James Harden and the Rockets. Rajon Rondo has been playing well for the Pelicans to 99. A Jokic Prism for the Nuggets. Eric says that is his second one-of-one in 2 days. You are on a roll, man. Maybe you should go play the lottery. Maybe we should all have you buy us a lottery ticket. That might be better. So that we can all retire. That's to 199, Terrence Ferguson and the Oklahoma City Thunder. But yeah, I think this is either the 3rd or the 4th night in a row where I have hit a one-of-one. In fact, one night I think we hit a one-of-one in every single break we did. We did like 3 different products or something, and I think we hit a one-of-one in every one of them. A little All-Stars AD for Nola on that prism. So we have been on a little bit of a roll with one-of-one lately. Even in Gypsy Queen. Hit a one-of-one in Gypsy Queen, which is really unusual. I don't find those too often. Eric got a one-of-one Karis LeVert auto from 16-17 Threads. All right. You had the Nets. Threads is another one that's hard to hit one-of-ones in. You know, certain products that seem to lend themselves more to hitting one-of-ones than others. Yeah, so Threads is one you don't pull it in super often, I don't think. Oh, it was a box you bought yourself. Even better. Even better. Then that probably means you should be playing the lottery. You should go out and immediately buy Mega Millions tickets. Or Powerball, depending on which state you're in, I guess. I know, it takes forever to get these things out of the wrappers. That's the worst part of doing whole cases, is just how long it takes to get everything out of the box and out of the wrapper. Like, I just want to know what's in here. I don't want to do all this part. I just want one big pack in there. And you know, they came out with that other product this year called Fast Break, which is, I guess, sort of a retail product. It's not a hobby product anyway, but it has one autograph per box and whatever. And you would think, with a name like Fast Break, that it would have fewer packs, right? So that you could break it quickly. But it doesn't. It has, I think, more cards per pack and more packs per box, or the same number of packs per box anyway. There's nothing quick about it from what I have seen. So, like, I don't get that. If you're going to have a product called Fast Break, why wouldn't you just put all the cards in there in like 3 packs and be done? For Nola, Frank Jackson. Dwayne Bacon rated rookie that I thought was a Prism, but it isn't, because it was glowing in behind him. It was Lonzo Ball that was shining for us, numbered to 175 for the Lakers. So I'm sure the Lakers are at least happy to see something numbered come out for them. Another champ is here with Kobe. That one is not numbered. And a Prism for the Clippers, Lou Williams. Oh, it's like now that the kitten has stopped playing with his toy, it's suddenly so quiet. Justin Patton to 49 for the T-Wolves. Yeah, the only thing is, if you do win the lottery, Eric, you gotta, you know, you've gotta buy something really expensive and open it so we can all watch it and see what you get. Lonzo to 99 for the Lakers with the rookies and a Prism and a numbered one. So Lakers with a couple of numbered Lonzos coming out of this box. To buy like one of the products that's super expensive, like $8,000 or $10,000 or something, and then let us watch you open it. Tim Duncan for the Spurs All-Stars Prism. Paul George to 199 for the Thunder. I'll tell you this. If I did win the lottery, man, we would open everything. I would just buy everything. We would break it all. It would be so much fun, because I wouldn't care if I lost money on it, because, you know, I would have millions of dollars. Malik Monk on-card auto for the Hornets. Nice little hit there for Charlotte. Seth Curry Prism for the Mavericks. Dirk Nowitzki to 175 for the Mavericks. Eric says he would buy Exquisite Basketball, a case from every year. Yeah, that would cost you some money, but that would be fun to watch you open. I will grant you that. Dwayne Bacon for the Hornets. Oh, what is going on with these sleeves tonight? Some of them, they just keep splitting right out the side, which is kind of odd. So we have 2 boxes left to go, and still a redemption that we haven't flipped over to check yet. So we still have 3 more possibilities if we haven't found what you're looking for quite yet. Yeah, I would go crazy. I would buy all kinds of stuff. I would buy everything. I mean, really, truly, we would just break everything, no matter how expensive it was. It would be so much fun. I mean, I would do other stuff too, and I would do good stuff, and I would help people and all that. So I'm not saying if I won the lottery, I wouldn't just spend every single dime on trading cards. I would do good things and stuff too, but we would definitely have some fun. It's amazing, really, when you think about how expensive some of this stuff is. And some of it's just not even hardly considered expensive anymore. We're just so conditioned to it. Like Flawless. I mean, Flawless is, you're talking $1,200-$1,500, depending on the year and the sport and whatever, for one box of Flawless. I mean, it's just not even that many cards in each box. We're a long ways from when you could go to the gas station and pick up a pack of cards for 25 cents. And Diamond Icons. I mean, Diamond Icons, that's what, $1,500 a box on a good day? Something like that. Crazy. But I guess probably they kind of go hand in hand. Breaks help make it affordable to get cards from that series, so they sell more, so then they make more of the expensive stuff because they can sell more because we do breaks with them now. Before breaks, I can't imagine there would be a whole lot of demand for $1,500 boxes of cards. There just wouldn't be that many people going, yeah, that's what I want to buy today with my $1,500. Al Horford and the Celtics on that prism. Oh, you would do some drawings and stuff for breaks. Well, that would be fun too. Eric, I hope you win the lottery, because then we all want to do that. We want to play. $279, Reggie Jackson, pink velocity for the Pistons. Iguodala /199, Golden State Warriors. Man, I forgot how long it takes to open a case of this. I usually do them in half cases because it does take a while. A little Donovan Mitchell rated rookie prism for the Jazz. Oh, Lakers are going to hit a little Magic Johnson signature. I'm a fan of that. I like that hit. That is pretty cool, Lakers. Oh, buy some 1952 Topps baseball boxes. Oh, yeah, man. Russell Westbrook. That was just a prism for the Thunder. The rookies, Josh Jackson. So after we pulled a whole bunch of Markelle Fultzes, then we pulled a couple of Josh Jacksons. Oh, we did have one Lonzo in there too. Forgot the numbered Lonzo in there. Gordon Hayward prism for the Celtics. There's a Champus here, Shaquille O'Neal. That one was for the Lakers. Walt Frazier. Patrick Beverley /175, Clippers. There's another Heat. That one is Dwayne Wade. Champ is here. An All-Star prism, Kyrie Irving for the Cavs. Yeah, note that is for the Cavaliers, Kyrie. That is not Celtics, Kyrie. A champ is here for the Lakers, Robert Horry to 99. One box left and one redemption that we haven't flipped yet. We are in the home stretch. And then, of course, again, I'll recap at the end of the break. We'll do a quick little fly through of all of our numbered cards. And, of course, we'll take another look at our signature cards as well. Not all the prisms because there's lots of those. But the ones that are numbered, for sure, we will take another look at. Oh, I always take good care of them when I ship them. Not to worry, Eric. I package the cards that are worth 99 cents the same as the cards that are worth $99 or more. So yeah, I make sure that everything is nice and safe and sound for transit. Now, every once in a while, something strange will happen and the post office will do goodness knows what. I've had a few times where they've ripped something open and the contents are lost and you get just the envelope with a little body bag, what I call little body bags. But when the post office puts them in that little bag where all the stuff is, you know, there's a printed message on there basically saying, whoops, we tore up your mail and all the stuff fell out. So I switched the type of envelope I used after that happened. So I don't really think that's likely to happen to us again. And outside of that, it's pretty rare for anything to happen. I mean, it's obviously not impossible, but it doesn't happen very often that the post office does something weird, especially considering the number of packages that I ship out every week. Like, for example, I spent a little over $30,000 in postage last year. I know this because I just did my taxes. So, yeah. Like, that is a lot of packages. So if you only have something happen, you know, 4, 5, 6 times out of $30,000 worth of postage, that's not too bad. To 175, Kristaps Porzingis, and the Knicks, Wishful Thinking. Well, the Lakers are on a roll now. They weren't hitting much early in the break, and now they're on a roll. Here's an autograph numbered to 49 for the Lakers. Cedric. Grizzlies Prism. Aaron Gordon Prism for the Magic. Zach LaVine for the Bulls. And that champ is here. It's Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors. Another Kristaps Wishful Thinking. This one's not numbered, though, but it is a prism. The last auto was for the Lakers. You'll see it again here in just a second, too, Marcus, because we'll be doing the recap here in a minute. So you'll see it again in a second. To 175, Paul Millsap and the Nuggets. Justice Winslow to 199 for the Heat. A retro Jim Jackson Prism for the Mavericks. Uh-oh, my screen's trying to time out on me over there. I don't know why. Sometimes it seems like it can go like an extended period of time and never tries to time out. And then there are other nights when it seems like it times out all the time. Uh-oh, Lakers. Did I not call it or what? I mean, you guys were not hitting much of anything for the Lakers. And then towards the end, all you're doing is just hitting Lakers. This is to 39, a little Lonzo Ball Velocity. Very nice. Zach Collins for the Blazers. That is numbered to 199. And Willie Cauley-Stein to 99 for the Kings. J.R. Smith Prism for the Cavaliers. And we have a redemption to flip over, so don't go anywhere. Let me get all this stacked up over here. So that's our signatures and all of our numbered cards that we're going to be recapping here in a second. But before we do that, we have a redemption to look at. Yeah, I know. I put them in sleeves because I can write on it then. I can write the team on it. And it is Anunoby, which will be the Raptors, rated rookie signature hollow. So let's go ahead and roll over here to the checklist and verify that, because I am kind of a nerd that way. I always go to the checklist when it is available, and that's what we're going to do again tonight. I just have to go through this lovely drop-down menu, which takes a very long time. And what was this called? Rated Rookie Signature Hollow, card 178. Oh. Signature, where are you, Hollow? There you are. Anunoby Raptors, not numbered, because see there, if it were a numbered edition, it would say it right there in that spot that is blank. So we know it is an unnumbered open edition, was what you will get when this redeems. All right, so we're going to take a quick flip through everything. These are our numbered cards. I'm not going to do front and back again because, of course, we already looked at the back of each of these originally, but we'll just do a quick little fly through in case somebody missed it earlier. Except we will flip this one over because why? Yeah, because it's a pretty little one of one. Always have to flip those over again. And after we do the recap, I will also put up the spreadsheet again very quickly for anybody who might not have seen it earlier. It will have anticipated shipping date information on it, and then we'll do a quick little spin through again of the auctions that are coming up for the next 5 days. For anybody who might be interested, we'll do that as soon as we finish the recap here. I don't really know why that is in there. Is that numbered? No. So I accidentally just put Isaiah Thomas in the numbered stack by accident. So conversely, I could have accidentally put one that is numbered in the unnumbered stack. So if you saw one go through earlier that was numbered and you didn't see it in the recap, that's all it means. It just would mean that I stacked it in the wrong place. I try really hard to stack them properly, but every once in a while one gets out of order. So an Anunoby redemption for the Raptors, that again will be an open edition. When you get it, will not be numbered. Then for the Lakers, Cedric is numbered to 49 on the Dominators insert. Magic on a Signature Series insert is not numbered. That is also for the Lakers. Malik Monk rated rookie on card unnumbered Hornets. Bobby Jones, Signature Series, unnumbered 76ers. Royce O'Neal for the Jazz, Signature Series, unnumbered. Sterling Brown, on card, rated rookie for the Bucks. Nice little Reggie Miller Dominator for the Pacers, numbered to 49. Semi Ojeleye for the Boston Celtics, rated rookie on card. Ryan Arsa Hamahala, I can't say his name. So, Signature Series for the Bulls. So, yeah, I can't say his name. Wesley Owundu, that is an on-card rated rookie numbered to 49 for the Magic. And then finally, Frank Mason, the third rated rookie on card for the Kings. So that is the recap for our full case of Optic basketball. And I will once again, as promised, throw up a little spreadsheet information. For those of you who are taking off, thank you once again. I appreciate very much everyone who bids and breaks with me and chats with me. I always enjoy having you, so feel free, stop by anytime, whether you're in the break or not. I always like having the company. So once again, here is the anticipated shipping information. As always, if I can get it out to you quicker, I will. And if something weird happens, it could slide to a day later, which is why it has that little plus or minus a day on there. But that's usually pretty close to on the mark for when something's going to go out. And then a quick little spin through of what's coming up in the days ahead again. There's typically going to be most nights some one-box breaks of memorabilia and or cards, as well as half cases or whole cases of things. So tomorrow night, our half case is the last of the Gypsy Queen baseball. On Wednesday night, we will have a full case of Diamond Kings baseball, as well as a half case of 2011 Prime Signatures football, and a third of a case of Leaf Metal Draft football. Thursday night is when we're going to do our full case of Prism Blasters. Again, the main part of that is the silver prisms. An average of 60 of them will be in that break. We'll also do a half case of Crown Royal football the same night. Friday night, our case will be a half of Contenders Draft Picks football that comes out that day. And Saturday night, same thing. We'll do another half, the back half of the Contenders Draft Picks football. So that's it for me tonight. I got lots of work to do here, getting everything in top loaders and sorted and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go take care of that. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And I'll see you again the next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.